Got my order in today from nightrider.com. Performance products. It's a variable inline enrichment device. The one I'm using this time is a FL-VIED-10 for the 20 and 10 later twin cams, and they look kind of like this. They look exactly like that, actually. One gray one, one black one, and that's color coded to match what's already on the bike. And there's a simple, I don't know if you can see that or not very well, but a ground wire that we'll have to hook up. History with these guys: I had an 08 Ultra. I put them on there to help out with changing out the air filter and putting Reinhardt True Duals on the 08, and it worked out really well. I didn't have, I had it dynoed. Dyno was fantastic, and I didn't have to go through all the adjustments on the Xieds that were for my 08. There wasn't any adjustments. You just plugged them in and go. What I saw from that was increased gas mileage, better performance, and the biggest thing probably right off the bat was the engine temperature. Dropped the engine temperature by 74 degrees. I measured that, how much change it really was. Really didn't have to measure it to tell the difference. It was immediate. You could tell a huge difference. No backfiring, no crackling, no popping. Everything worked out fantastic. So bought a new 2013 Screaming Eagle, and really happy with it. But it's still choked up with the same emissions that are required nowadays, so I wanted to fix that. Doing two things to it. I'm going to replace the baffles. I like the stock exhaust look. I don't want to keep that, so I'm going to replace the baffles with full sack baffles, and then I'm going to put the FL-VIEDs on, and I thought I'd show you how to do that today. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Basically, if you know how to take a saddlebag off, you know how to take a side cover off, you're pretty much there. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's get at it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is take the saddlebag off. That's with the quick releases on the inside. Twist those, loosen the bag up. Once you get it loose, inside, since there's speakers on the 2013 in the rear, there's a plug-in back here you have to unplug before you lift them off. And then when you do, you just lift them off, set them aside. Well, once I've got that done, then I take the side cover off. Try to pull that straight out. You don't want to break those tabs off. That's probably the biggest risk that you have with this whole process, is just doing that. And here we go. Once I have that off, we can see the O2 sensors right here. I'll give you a close-up of that. Right there they are. Gray one and a black one, just like what we saw from the package. So I'll set this. So I do those. You can do them even two at a time, I guess, if you wanted to, because there's no they're color coded, so you won't have an issue with that. To release these, there's tabs down here on the bottom. I'm going to push in pretty firmly on those tabs, and then just slide the connector right off. That's pretty simple and straightforward. I'm working on the gray one first, so we're going to put the gray one on next. Take the right side, slide it in, slide in the top piece, hear them click and snap. We're going to wire tie these all right together here when we're done, so I'm just going to set it out of the way. Move on to the black one, slides off, and we'll take use the right end there. Slide that on. Connects that up. And gee whiz, we're almost done. At this point, I'll take the grounds, They're still on really good and tight. At first, when you push them on there, you may feel like they're tight, but make sure they're good and tight. There we go. And now the next thing to do is attach them to the frame where we got a good solid ground. So I'm going to find a ground here and attach those. It takes, looks like a 1/4 inch. Might actually just go right up underneath the seat and go right to the battery. I'm going to take a look underneath there and see what we got. With the 2013, boy, taking the seats off are just super simple. I do have another upgrade on here on the brakes. I put a modulator on the tail light. It gives me, I don't know, 8 or 11 different options. Really only 3 or 4 that make a lot of sense, but they flash my brake lights. And that's even simpler to do. You literally take the seat off, unplug the brakes, and plug in that device. The seat off. Set it aside. And let's take a look here and see. My ground is right there. And I think the best bet is going to be to route these right up to the ground. Looking around to see if there's any place better, and not really that I see. I don't like to take off bolts off of the frame. I probably could use one of these two, or maybe one of these. I'm not sure if they're grounded good or not, but when you take that stuff off, you got something that's a chance to get loose and fall off. If I take it off the battery itself, that's a bolt that comes in and out pretty regular, depending on what you do in the winter time or when you change the battery. So I think that's what we're going to opt for. And I'm just going to wrap those around this harness here. Give myself enough room. So I'm going to wire tie those all together right like that. So I'm going to, already got a good start on that. Take these, go around this way one more time, and now I'm able to slide these right underneath here, and I'm right on my brake, or on my negative post of my battery. This is going to be really easy. So I'll get a screwdriver here and we'll do that. All right. Screw comes out. And we'll take those wires right there. Put them side by side so they're good and flat. Run the bolt through there. Put my bolt back in, tighten it down good and tight. Okay, I think we're good. All right, let me get some wire ties. Wire tie that up real tight. Okay, I think they're going to stack up right next to each other really easy. I can slide the wire tie in behind. I'm using a black wire tie, so I'm sure you can't see it. But it's pretty straightforward. Just go right across there. I'll put one high and one low on here. I want to make this adjustment pot available to myself, and so I'm just going to kind of play with them here a little bit to get this turned. You'll see that pot right there, right here, and there's one on each side so I can adjust them independently. I'm going to run it for a while just the way it is. I'm not going to try to get too creative with it. See what the factory settings look like first. Totally missed that one. Good thing they're small and they're cheap. Let's try it this way. right behind there. Pull those in tight. Cinch it up. I don't want to get too high so the cover isn't a problem. And again, I still want to be able to get to those pots. And that's it. They're in. So let's put the side cover back on. I'm confident enough, I'm really not even going to test it. I'm going to put it all the way back together because I really think they've got this product dialed in pretty good. And, I just don't foresee any problems. Cover's back on. Everything fits good. Good tight. Place saddlebag back on, plug in that speaker, push it in until it clicks. Have to adjust those just a little bit to fit. Give her a twist. Other side, give her a twist. We're on and done. Put the seat back on. It's getting late in the year. It's October. I'm sorry, it's still October. And it's cold out in central Illinois. And wife's not riding with me much, so I'm just keeping the single seat on. I teach motorcycle safety courses on the weekends, so that's where I ride to most often now, and to and from work every once in a while. Get everything put back together, tighten those down, and we're good to go. That's pretty straightforward and simple. Best I can tell, it took about 15 minutes, and including going and getting the screwdrivers and everything else, not having everything laid out in front of me. So really it's an easy 10-minute job. Let's fire it up. Well, and just as I expected, no popping, no backfire, quicker throttle response, and I'll take a measurement and see, but I'm pretty comfortable that I probably saw some temperature drop there as well. So highly recommend it. Give them a go, and gave you an example of what the brake lights look like, and I probably saw the LED headlight when I came in. Those are the two things that I've done besides road pegs. But the LEDs are fantastic as well. They're expensive, but boy, if I just see one deer or not see a deer, either way you want to look at that, they're going to pay for themselves. So really happy with that. Give the Xieds or the variable version a try. I think you'll like them. Pretty inexpensive, easy upgrade. Better performance, better power, better response.